Hope I get the chance to travel the world, but I don't have any plans. So wake me up when it's...
Hello YouTube fans, apart from getting something out of my mouth. Back to the Richard Donner films. That's right, Richard Donner. Now after the big success of the first and second Lethal Weapon film, it got into the early 90s for Richard Donner to do the next one. That be Lethal Weapon 3. Now unlike Lethal Weapon 1 and Lethal Weapon 2, which were both rated 18, this was a milder rating. It was a 15. So you're thinking, oh no, they've not gone pussy out. They've not gone pussy out on the violence and all this. But I was surprised. I was surprised because this is a bladding dud film. Lethal Weapon 3, in my eyes, is a bladding dud film. And I love Lethal Weapon 3. I love it. I love it that much. I remember seeing it back in the day. And this is a true story, right? When it first came out, in 1992, and it came out on the theatre. I think I remember saying this once before me other review, that I saw it on the big screen. I saw it in the cinema. I remember the scene where the building blows up on the big screen on the cinema. It was a bloody delight. It was a delight. And the thing I love about Lethal Weapon 3, Mel Gibson gets a new woman in his life. That's why he gets a new woman, and she kicks ass. She does martial arts and everything, and it's professing and all. She doesn't get bloody killed, not like Batsy Densit in Lethal Weapon 2, not like his wife was mentioned who got killed in Lethal Weapon 1. He actually gets a new love in his life, so you get a new character, and Dante Pesce comes back into it. Now, at first, I had a feeling that Richard Donner wasn't going to have Dante Pesce in it. You know, he was in Lethal Weapon 2 and everything, but they sort of prized him back as an house salesman. You got the idea that Danny Duffer is going to retire from the police force. You know, he's had enough, and Rich doesn't like it. He don't want him to leave. You know what I mean? After all what they went through in 1 and 2, he doesn't want him to leave, and I'm kind of happy about that because you got to like the characters, you know, you got to like Rich, you got to like Murtaugh, you got to like them. So I was kind of happy in one way, and it was professing in one way that they didn't leave. So Danny Duffer, I should say, did not leave in the film. And you got the main villain, and what a villain. A lot of people, right, say that he was a weak villain. Now, Jack Lee, none against him, date martial artist and everything, but you want to see a weak villain, Jack Lee in Lethal Weapon 4 is a weak fucking villain. He's a weak villain. And when I do got to Lethal Weapon 4, it's got to be a review, but it's got to be a rant. But it's nothing against Richard Donner. He's done some damn good films. I just felt at Lethal Weapon 3, it should have ended in Lethal Weapon 3. In my eyes, it should have ended in Lethal Weapon 3. Because I love Lethal Weapon 3. I love it. It has a lot of action in it. I love to see Mel Gibson's on a motorbike and he's chasing the villains and it smashes on the task. Mel Gibson as Rix is on that motorbike. Proper badass. Proper fucking badass. You know what else I love about Lethal Weapon 3? One what would be a rant would be the TV series. CGI piece of shit. You want to see how it's done the right way? Watch Lethal Weapon 3. Real explosions. Real stunt scenes, a fucking boat, a motorbike chase scene. This has a lot of action and it has a lot going for it. So you got the main villain. And I also like the story. I just think the story was interesting. It was interesting, right? It starts off with you got these bullets. Again, it's a different type of story than 1 and 2. And the bullet looks like lipstick on the end. So it looks funny. It's like a red dot on it. But it can shoot. It can go through a bulletproof vest. And it can kill cops. So these cop killers and drug busters or whatever can get these guns and they can shoot and kill people with them. With this special thing. Because we all know a bulletproof vest is made out of metal. The only substance what a bullet cannot go through. So the idea of having this special bullet with a red tip what can go through and can fucking kill you is bloody frightening. It is frightening. Does the idea of a bullet like that could be made? So I like that idea. I thought the story was interesting. So they're going after these sort of like people who are dealing with guns and drugs and, you know, the usual stuff in the films of the Lethal Weapon films. And you got the guy who I just think was just main smooth in the film. He was just smooth, you know what I mean? I remember him being the villain in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, which one day I might offend that film because I actually like them. I thought the cartoon series. And yeah, I like, what can I say? There's no faults in Lethal Weapon 3, none. But it starts off as the woman and who Mel Gibson finds his new love interest, and at first you think they're not going to like one another and all this. You know, you've seen it in a lot of films, and insulting one another and calling each other names. But then as the film goes on, it goes a knots. You know what I mean? It goes a bloody knots. And how can I put it? You know, they've been love. I love to see where they're sowing stars. And there's a bit of me what makes me bloody wonder whether Richard Donner seen Jaws. You think, Pete, what the fuck are you on about seeing Jaws? Well, think about it. The classic scene with Roy Sider, right? And they're all there and they're all looking at stars when they got attacked by a shark. There's a scene when they're on the boat. Everyone remembers the scene and they're all looking for stars. Well, there's a scene in that where Rix and Rix's new love interest, they're all looking for stars, what they've had when they was in the job, you know, as a cop. So there's a bit there that reminds me of Jaws. I don't know why, it always reminds me of Jaws. So I did see the theatrical version of Lethal Weapon 3, but I don't remember ever said it before, but I've got the director's cut. And I've got to admit, I like the director's cut a lot more because there's a scene in it, right, where Danny Duffer shoots, as Murtaugh, shoots a lad. And I always thought it was his son. For some reason, I thought it was his son at first, when I first saw it on theatre. But then you find out it's not, it's his son's mate. And he felt ill, and he, you know what I mean? But there's a scene in the director's cut where there's a lot more to it, where Murtaugh's daughter visits Rix. You see he's terrifying. If you remember in Lethal Weapon 2, he's terrifying, got totally demolished. She visits Rix to sort it out, and then they visits Murtaugh. Well, it's mentioned in the theatrical, but you don't see that scene. The director's cut, it made sense, and I like that sort of touch to it. There's bits in there I felt weren't really needed. It could just kept in the deleted scenes. But it's interesting to see it in the director's cut, even though I didn't think it was that needed. But again, I do like the emotion in it. You know, I felt I had a lot more emotion, is what I'm getting at. I had a lot more emotion. And that's what I like about Lethal Weapon 3. I love Lethal Weapon 3. There's no faults in Lethal Weapon Bladding 3. No faults. I love it. So what point's going to give it? Because I love it. Fuck it, why not? It gets a 10 from me. Because I saw it and I thought, oh, they pushed it out on the rating. It's going to be a 15. It's not going to be bang, bang, bang. But when you think about it, the Lethal Weapon films were never that violent. Yeah, you see people getting shot up and all this. But there was more action. And this was more action. You know what I mean? I always looked at the first Lethal Weapon film. It's more of a thriller with action in it halfway through the film. I look at Lethal Weapon 2 as more of an action, buddy cop, fucking action film. You know, with a bit of humour in it, a bit of comedy thrown in. Lethal Weapon 3 has a lot of comedy and has a lot of going for it. I like the idea that Rich gets another dog, and in the director's cut, it's professing and all that his dog didn't get killed. I always thought that his dog, well, I like to call Lassie, because it's the same dog that you see in Lassie. So, as I was saying, his dog didn't get killed. So it's professing, no, his dog did not get killed. This is what being cut in 2 hours because fucking camera went off. Typical. But yeah, I actually like Lethal Weapon 3. I like it. So again, I'll give it a fopping 10-star rating. I love it that much. It gets 10 points from me. Other than that, I've got to get to work now. So be smart, be safe, and I'll see you for some more movie reviews. Until then, I'll see you soon.